Jumbo, my name is Jackie, the forest singer, and I just love to tell stories and sing songs about my furry, feathered, scaled and skinned friends. This morning, the sun rose in another one of her playful fits. She tickled my nose and urged me to go down to the waterside. I wondered how different the Danube River might be, compared to the warm Indian Ocean where I once swam. In Kenya, turtles often come to lay their eggs on certain beaches, so you can imagine how excited I was to learn that you really don't have to swim in the ocean to meet a turtle face to face. Along the Danube lives a tiny turtle, the only turtle to be found in Europe. And yes, this too is endangered, like all turtles. Let me read you The Colouring Adventures of Flip-Flops. It's a fable inspired by real events. The book is written, illustrated, and narrated by me, Jacqueline Nazareth, the nature-nurturing forest singer. And it starts like this. Flip and Flop lay side by side. They were the perfect pair. There was nothing one had that the other didn't. And yet they were the exact opposite of each other. Who will buy us? That boy there? Or maybe the one on the chair? Whispered Flip. Get a grip, Flip, laughed Flop. It's to be no other than the girl with everywhere hair. Look! The girl with everywhere hair lived in Diani Forest. It was close to the sea. She took Flip and Flop for long walks because they protected her tender feet. Flip and Flop met Scratch, the cat. Being soft and made of rubber, Flip and Flop promised to absorb and hold Scratch's body heat. Scratch could not resist. Curling himself into a ball upon them, warm and comfortable, he soon fell fast asleep. The girl with everywhere hair loved animals. Sometimes she put fruit on Flip and Flop. She fed bush babies at night and monkeys during the day. The girl with everywhere hair's puppies liked to play tug-of-war with poor Flip. But Flop always came to Flip's rescue and gave the puppies a smack. "Leave my sister alone," he warned as they scampered away. It rained hard. A small puddle soon gathered beneath the rubber pair. "Help! Help! I'm drowning!" cried a small ant. "You poor thing! Here, climb up on me," said Flop kindly. "I can float you to safety." The sun soon came out to play. A big, fat cockroach scuttled Flip and Flop's way. The girl with everywhere hair snatched Flip up and swept the cockroach clean away. Ouch! As Flip and Flop lay sunbathing one day, a kingfisher glided high above in the wind belts. At the equator, between the North and South poles, wind patterns are built by the steady flow of warm and cold air. The kingfisher used these wind patterns to swoop down and admire the pair. Suddenly, the kingfisher showered them with his blessings. Then he flew away laughing so hard that his belly hurt. Naughty bird. Friends came over. Using Flip and Flop, the girl with everywhere hair beat rhythmic patterns upon her pots and pans. Rap-a-tap, smack, slap, crash, bang! Rap-a-tap, smack, clash, bang! Until everyone was singing and dancing. And so the days and months passed. Flip and Flop wore thin. One day, the girl with everywhere hair brought home a new pair. They were so pretty, with colourful beads. Flip and Flop were soon forgotten. They lay sadly in each other's arms at the back of the cupboard. "Pack your things, we're going to the beach," said her mother. "Please put on your old flip-flops. We don't want the new ones getting spoiled." Flip and Flop were thrilled to carry the girl with everywhere hair once again. Crunch, crunch, crunch came the sound as they walked on Deanny Beach's soft, powder-white sand. They admired shells and starfish. Patter, spatter, splatter, splash came the sound as they wandered through the puddles. There were fish, crab, and sea urchin in the rocky pools. The girl with everywhere hair built a big sandcastle with Flip and Flop's help. But little did she know that although the Earth's gravity kept oceans on the planet's surface, the size and nearness of the moon has a strong gravitational pull upon the sea as well. Moving towards the moon, the tide rose quickly. The waves got higher and higher. Then a big one came. It snatched Flip up. Quickly and quietly, it stole her away. "Flip! Flip! Come back!" shouted Flop. But the wave did not release Flip. Flop tried to catch the next wave, but the tide had turned. The sea now followed the moon, finding its way back to the horizon once again. Every time Flop tried to save Flip, he only got washed back on the sand. Flip tumbled and tossed in a big wave. She was pulled down deep. Gravity is everywhere, even underwater. Flip saw many things that frightened her. Then she thought about Flop, waiting for her on the beach. Bravely, Flip floated back up to the surface, but there was no land in sight. She was lost. The stars came out. The girl with everywhere hair had gone home. Flop was useless to her without Flip. I'll wait here forever for you to return, Flip, sobbed Flop. Flip saw a big turtle. She had been caught in a fishing net, and her flipper was injured. The turtle looked at Flip hungrily and opened her mouth wide to take a bite. "Wait! I'm not a fish! I'm made of rubber! You will surely die if you eat me!" "Here, let me help you instead," begged Flip. Flip slept onto the turtle's flipper like a plaster. "That feels better. Thank you kindly," said the turtle. Flip told her new friend how she got lost at sea and separated from her twin. "Maybe I can help you find him," offered the turtle. "I know the way to Diani Beach. It's where I was born, and now must return to lay my eggs. We can keep each other company." "Where are we?" asked Flip. "In a soup bowl," laughed the turtle. Flip looked around with interest. The girl with everywhere hair was reading about this. It is called a gyre and is created by global wind patterns and the force of the Earth's rotation. Flip paused, smiling as she remembered the kingfisher who found his joy and freedom within these wind patterns. This gyre, or giant round surface current, is a mass of sea rubbish. It's mostly plastic because plastic floats and never fully biodegrades. But it also carries pieces of rubber, glass, metal, wood, cloth, and even paper. Biodegradation is nature's way of recycling waste. Biodegradation breaks down organic matter into nutrients that can be used by other organisms. Hundreds of birds, fish, invertebrates, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians are threatened by plastic pollution, grumbled Flip. "We mistake it for food, like I did you," sighed the turtle. "Yes, but plastic particles in water act like a sponge for poisons, like pesticides. Not only can you get poisoned, but injured, entangled, starve, and eventually even die through marine pollution." "Really? But how does all this marine debris get into the ocean, Flip?" "Most of it is land litter that is not got rid of properly. Wind, rain, storms and such can blow litter very far until it ends up in a storm drain or a river. It gets flushed downstream and out to sea. After that, there is no shoreline on the planet it cannot reach," explained Flip. Days turned to weeks, and then to months. Flop dug into the sand, feeling very alone. He had a lot of time to think. He thought about his sister. Together, they had served as a bed, a plate, a toy, a boat, a broom, a pair of drumsticks, and even a toilet. He missed her so. Then he thought about the girl with everywhere hair and all the places and things that they had done together. He missed her too. Family, friends, and community are all important. Torn and bleached, Flop was still waiting on the beach. He had never lost hope of seeing his sister again. When he saw Flip with the turtle, he was overjoyed. "Flip, Flip, it's me! Tell your friend to come and lay her eggs here. There isn't much construction, noise, or litter here. Not many people walk by either, so her eggs will be safe." It was dark. The noise and lights from many new buildings along the far shoreline were irritating and distracting. The turtle struggled to climb up the steep beach slope. Flip and Flop helped her dig a big, deep hole. Together, they covered the eggs with sand. After the turtle bid them farewell, Flip and Flop stood guard protectively. Flip and Flop were overjoyed when the baby turtles hatched. They watched them scramble safely towards the sea. That was the day the girl with everywhere hair found the pair. She was older and much smarter now. "My precious Flip and Flop!" She watched the baby turtle struggle to the sea, then stared in horror at the amount of flip-flops washed up on the beach. One by one, she picked up the pieces of plastic and rubber. An idea slowly began to form in her mind. From the flip-flops she collected, she built a giant turtle. She placed it outside a big shopping mall. It stood tall and colourful for all to see. It was put there to constantly remind people about careless acts of littering and the possible consequences they might bring about. And that is where Flip and Flop lay side by side today, honouring the turtle's life Flip had saved, and who, in return, reunited Flip and Flop together forever. The end.